As the days get hotter, so do the seasonal waifus. So turn on the AC, shut the blinds, and waste your youth watching some anime. The characters go to an all-girls school focused on teaching performance arts. It's really boring and there's too many girls. Wait. Is this a dream? The action is kinda cool, and the episode ends before we actually learn anything, so I guess I'll have to watch more to find out what's happening. This one is worth checking out. It's kinda like Love Live with action. The beginning was pretty boring, but the end of the episode made it worth watching. I'm cautiously optimistic about this one. Main girl becomes a tryhard after getting destroyed by another girl in a badminton tournament. Then that girl ends up going to the same school as her and joins her team. The plot seems pretty standard for a sports anime, but the animation is great. Figuring out which clips to choose while talking about this show is hard. The only reason I'm still talking is so that I can show more of the show. A guy washes ashore on the beach of this island where everyone is very watchful of outsiders. He knows he's been sent back in time, but doesn't know what he's sent back to do. It's a mystery that's obviously based on a visual novel and has plenty of stupid stuff. Like when the blue-haired girl tells him that she can't touch the sunlight. Or when she sings to him on the beach, twice in an episode. Or even when he's first discovered on the beach and blonde girl falls face first on his junk. An office lady gets isekai'd and has the ability to awaken the powers of these prince guys. It's nice to see that the otome genre is getting in on this isekai trend. From the man who made some funny hentai manga comes a story about a girl's daily adventures on her way to school. For a show that I was really looking forward to, I'm a little disappointed. The comedy's still on point, but they really screwed up certain things like the intro. There's 30 straight seconds of just the characters on the screen not moving at all. The backgrounds are also really bad. You would think that they would be better since they could just keep reusing them. It's the studio that made Fuka though, so I didn't have my expectations super high anyways. It's still funny, they didn't ruin any of the jokes, so I still expect it to be good, just not amazing. The title of the show is literally Music Girls. This idol group of 11 girls adds this foreign girl to their idol group because she can dance. But uh-oh, she can't sing. They use every basic anime joke. Can I see Mount Fuji from here? No. It's Tokyo Tower. No, it's not. Unlike Love Live, where they slowly introduce the 9 girls to you across several episodes, this show just shoves all of them at you at once. Alright, this one is the worst comedy of the season. A Yakuza boss forces 3 of his men to become women and work as idols. There's basically no animation, so you might as well read the manga if you like the comedy. Even the intro is just some girls they got to dance in front of green screens. Main boy moves in with his uncle and cousins while attending college. He gets forced to join the scuba diving club where they drink every night and almost never go diving. I was waiting for this one. I was a little worried that it was being made by the studio that made Doriku, but it turned out fine. The comedy still works and I had fun watching it. The first couple chapters are probably the weakest, so it's only gonna get better from here. You should absolutely check this one out. This little texture that they had overlaid on the top of this show is just ugly. A group of exiles are shipped off to an island and have to defend against a Mongol horde. The first episode was pretty good. It really depends on how the rest of the show goes from here. It could be a fun action show or a boring war show. If you watched Ohana and thought to yourself, this is great and all, but I sure wish this was a lot more like Sword Art, then this is a show for you. You can only play this game if you have a special trait. The game has permadeath characters, and when this girl loses her character, she dies from a heart attack. All the main characters look like they're 8 at this point in time, so it makes the drama seem really stupid. Then, when he's older, main boy gets dragged into playing the new edition of the game, and when he opens a chest, he finds the girl who died. If you like sword art, then you might like this. I don't think this show is funny at all. Apparently, that's not a very common opinion though. I know how much babies love funny faces, but this is just ridiculous. Every single punchline in this show is a reaction face, and I didn't enjoy it whatsoever. You're sure to like this if you loved gamers. I thought the only reason to watch this show would be the boobs and butts, but I was completely ignorant. Half of these girls have the Okinawa tan. The actual sports part isn't as good as the badminton show, but it's enough to pretend you're not just watching it for the fan service. If you like girls and sports, then go ahead and check it out. This Yandere works hard to support her lolly. It doesn't matter what she has to do or who she has to kill. Japs are so clean that this is their idea of a dirty bathroom stall. How adorable. The whole setup for her getting angry in the first episode was pretty lame. Their argument basically boils down to, I'm not gonna pay you. Okay, then I'll report you to the police. Okay, I'll pay you. They just made everyone a yandere to try and make it cool. I guess watch it if you like yanderes? I'm not sure who else would enjoy this show. This show is basically Dokuro-chan, but with a demon instead of an angel. Wait, there's an angel with a spiky bat, so I guess the author really liked Dokuro. This whole tail-cutting gag is gonna get old real fast. And while it may seem like a ripoff of Dragon Maid, this manga actually started before Dragon Maid. The important thing is that it's not funny. Cowgirl is pretty cute though. Guy with arm bandages exercises ghosts by punching them. When he finds the cute ghost girl though, he doesn't want to punch her. So now he lives with a bunch of booby girls and sluts. There's about 4 different times in the first episode where he sees the girl's boobs and she hits him. It's a generic shonen harem and I hated it. I gotta be honest, I wasn't paying that much attention to the story. There's a vampire lady who's using a serial killer to disguise her vampire attacks. The good guys fight vampires and the main boy is a Jaeger, which means he can sense vampires and has superhuman fighting abilities. The action scenes were really cool though. They found a way to make a double-sided scythe not super lame. This Shota moves in with a bunch of booby girls. He gets bathed by the main lady and almost kisses her in episode 1, so it's basically the best show ever. If you aren't being directly pandered to by this show, then it probably isn't worth watching. A Japanese assistant photographer for a magazine is in America to take photos of this gang leader. Gang Guy's backstory is that he was a child porn star, and the first episode seems pretty gay between these two. It's the same studio that adapted Sakamichi no Apollon, and it definitely feels similar. The real plot of the first 2 episodes is that the gang leader was given this drug to keep from his higher-ups, and now they're trying to get it back. I like this one a lot, and you should definitely check it out. Hundred Musket Boys shoot some dudes. I'm not sure if it's an otome or gay, but if you're somehow watching this animation and are still interested, then I'm sure you'll like this show either way. Kids are watching Let's Plays too much. Let's make a show based on an RPG Maker horror game. Hey, this one has some super shitty art, and it's a boring cookie cutter story about escaping a facility filled with monsters. Yep, that'll do. This manga was pretty ugly, so it makes sense that they would animate it to look like 3D glass mask. Honestly, I feel like people would enjoy this one. People ate up gamers, so this show about video games, a relationship, and loads of funny faces seems like something people would love. Main girl moves to England and discovers her grandmother was a supernatural something and meets the boys that helped protect Granny. After she finds their cafe, they decide to protect her. The only interesting thing about this show is the fact that Zeton apparently did the monster designs for it. This girl starts working part-time in this antique shop with this boy. There isn't much to say about it. It was perfectly watchable. This is a comedy about personified cells and their daily adventures through the body. Like most comedies this season, it wasn't funny. It feels like a brief biology lesson, so if you're into human biology, you may want to watch more than the first episode, but I most definitely won't. Our main character plays an MMO where he smites all the couples because of his hatred towards normies. Then he gets isekai'd into the game along with everything his character had, so he's super OP. These guys attack him with a level 30 monster, thinking he has no chance to survive, but our hero is actually level 150. It's a generic ecchi harem featuring Titty Elf and Flat Cat, both of which are his slaves. Oh, but it's funny because he isn't good at talking to girls. Except that's only the case with his internal monologue. He's spent a part of every episode so far fondling his slaves. If you like Death March or any of the other harem isekais in the past year, then you'll like this one. In Season 2 of Another World with My Smartphone, our main character is a head-patting, Google-searching leader that's collecting his Emoto army. There isn't much to this one. It's just smartphone, but instead of being reincarnated, he went through a magic time and space mirror. Well, I can only assume because the first episode just started us in the other world with him as a military commander. Wow, the main character has amnesia and he gets motivated by being offered meat. How quirky. These big dumb aliens invade, then this group goes into their superhero forms to fight them. There's a ton of CG too, and the main character's actually a villain. How cool. Wait, those eyes. It's a Satoshi Mizukami anime? Most of his stories have generic plots, but he handles them so well that I can't help but to enjoy them. If you've read Lucifer and the Biscuit Hammer or Psycho Staff, then you know exactly what this show is going to be like. I'm really looking forward to watching this one. I actually liked a bunch of shows this time. There were a lot of bad shows, but not nearly as many as I'm used to. This is the best season in a while. There's plenty of things worth watching, no matter what you're into. I sure hope we have just as many things to look forward to next season.